Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the Noble Gas Neons collection from the brand Starrily. These are available right now, so in the description box I will link the Starrily site, I'll link their Instagram page, and then I will link my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from today's video. So we do have 6 neons to look at today, and let's go ahead and get started.
So first we have Helium, and this is a bright neon pink cream. So here's our first coat of Helium. This one does cover really well here on this first coat. Not quite a one coater, so I am going to go in for 2 coats, but the formula on this is fantastic. So sometimes with neons, they can be very sheer. This one definitely has opacity to it. Honestly, the entire collection has opacity, but then if they're more opaque, they're kind of like thick and goopy, and I didn't experience that in this collection either. So these are very well formulated opaque neons. Just like most neons, this is going to dry to a practically matte finish, almost like a satiny finish. So if you don't love that, you'll want top coat, and that top coat will also protect your manicure and help it last a little bit longer. I do recommend going in for base coat with all of these. Neon pigments do tend to stain, and these ones are very pigmented. So cover your bases and wear a base coat, but removal will be easy. So there are 2 coats of Helium. Next up we have Neon, and this is a hot, bright orange neon cream. Here's our first coat of Neon. This one, it's so hard to tell. Sometimes it leans like more red, like a neon red, and honestly that's most lights in my opinion on this one. Sometimes it's giving me corally red, and then sometimes it's giving me orange, but I think for the most part this one does lean towards the neon red category, but it does have the same very opaque, very smooth, easy formula to work with. I had no running and no pooling. I did leave this on only for the swatch, so I also had no staining, but once again, a very pigmented neon color. I would recommend just going in with a base coat before applying the color to protect your natural nails. Just like everything else, this is going to dry dull, so I recommend going in for top coat if you don't love that finish, and nothing dries textured and removal is easy. So there are 2 coats of Neon. Next up we have Radon, and this is a bright toxic yellow cream. Here's our first coat of Radon. This one is the only one that I needed 3 coats for full opacity. It is the yellow of the bunch, so that's absolutely to be expected. But since they are more opaque, I was seeing like lighter or darker rather, seeing through the polish on certain parts of my nails, and it was not something I could live with, so I did end up going in for 3 coats, but if you are more careful and less picky, you could probably get away with 2. It does have the same very smooth, easy application though. I didn't have any like super patchy spots or anything that I had to cover. And also with these neons, I know it hasn't been an issue for a while, but with these neons, you don't require a base color to get that absolutely electric color on your nails. So I really appreciate that. So here is the 3rd coat, and that did cover completely for me in 3. Just like everything else, I highly suggest using a base coat to prevent stains. It'll also make your manicure more even because it does cover like the ridges. This is going to dry to that same satin finish, so a glossy top coat will help rectify that too. So there are 3 coats of Radon. Next up we have Krypton, and this is a bright neon green slime cream. Here's our first coat of Krypton, and I think when it comes to neons, the greens are always my favorite, and I don't know why, but I just think this is a beautiful neon slime green. The formula is also fantastic. Again, a very smooth, even application here. I got full coverage in 2 coats without needing a white base coat, so no complaints on the formula, the opacity, anything like that. Again, this is going to dry satiny, so a top coat will help bring this manicure back to life. And I am getting super Halloween vibes. Maybe that's why I like neon greens, but they always call to me. Again, use that base coat just to prevent stains. So there are 2 coats of Krypton. Up next we have Xenon, and this is a bright neon blue cream. Here's our first coat of Xenon. This one is for some reason the most jelly of the collection. Like as you can see, it doesn't apply super creamy. It has more of a squishy like element to it. That being said, I was still able to get full coverage in 2 coats with no problem. So the opacity is there. It just has a little bit more of a jelly-like look to it. Excellent formula, no running or pulling. Again, I can't speak to staining because I didn't leave it on for longer than the swatch. But to just ensure that you don't stain, I would suggest going in with a base coat. This one, just like the rest of them, will dry to that satiny finish. A top coat will help rectify that if it's not something you love in a nail polish, but removal will be easy. Nothing will dry texture. There are 2 coats of Xenon. And lastly for today, we have Argon, and this is a bright neon purple cream. Here's our first coat of Argon. This one was trippy to me, so I feel like maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, but the more sheer it was, the more purple it looked, and the more opaque it was, the more blue it looked. And that stayed true in person and on camera. I feel like this is a very true blurple color. Sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's purple. It does have the same excellent formula, not super even on the coverage, but I was still able to get full opacity in 2 coats. Formula is excellent. It is going to dry again to that satiny finish. I am a broken record here, but a top coat does help smooth everything out. You should use a top coat anyway. It helps your manicure dry faster, more evenly, and protects all your hard work. So there are 2 coats of Argon. And here's a look at the full collection. I love a neon collection. I really like this red corally color. The neon green is obviously the one that calls to me. There's nothing in this collection that's like super revolutionary. It is a neon set, but they are absolutely beautiful in their performance. I'm always happy to receive a neon collection. I do love wearing neons, especially in the summer, and here in Florida, it's summer for about half the year, so I have been getting a lot of use out of my neons on my toes most of the time, and I'm very happy to add this one to my collection. A+ collection.
And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.